Earth to the Third Power presents Fools Who Ride. The Dreamstone, Part 11.
Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the D&D world. If you get that reference, you may have visited an arcade in the 1990s. I am, of course, your game master storyteller for this evening, this afternoon, or whenever you find yourself across the material plane. I am Mike the Birdman, but I'm not alone as I trek into yet another adventure in Fools Who Ride the Dreamstone, an actual D&D podcast brought to you by Nerds of the Third Power. And as always, I am joined by someone out in the wastelands of the Midwest.
Oh god, it really is the wastelands. My name is the Cat, and I am playing Lenore Longfire, a level 3 human plague doctor cleric.
And of course, joining us from the land of Torchwood and Doctor Who.
It's me, Skyblaze, and I am playing Alisaria Sunshadow, a level 3 high elf paladin.
And finally, it wouldn't be the Nerds of the Third Power show without the guy who spends entire paychecks on video games, but we love him anyway.
Dr. Gonzo, playing a level 3 human knight, Marcus Hawk, and just a little pissed off that we can't seem to kill this goddamn thing. Although apparently you have a mistake to correct.
Yes, so I did, once again, a little reading in the stat block, and we were talking a little bit off air, so a little bit of behind the scenes thing. I didn't comprehend something, but I do have a story reason as to why things did not work, but we'll explain that as once we conclude this adventure, we're going to do a behind the scenes discussion of how this adventure came to be, the thoughts and opinions, and how things went down. So when a game master does make a mistake, you do your best to correct it. Occasionally you can retcon something, and I have adjusted the creature's hit points to reflect the damage they should have done. So I'm just going to chalk this up to a delayed reaction on the creature's behalf. Maybe it was faking it till it makes it, as I was once famously told.
In this podcast.
Exactly. So with that in mind, we once again find ourselves battling this creature atop a hill as we are lurking outside the lair of Clovis, the knight who wants to do some dastardly deeds to the town of Cambridge. And the town of Cambridge is slowly going insane from the lack of the Dreamstone being present and the demon Pazuzu wanting to take it for his power back to the seven hells. So let us return. So the driving wind and rain is still pounding against you as you begin pounding this creature more fiercely with your weapons. However, as the battle has gone on, you've noticed you've been dealing damage to it, though it does not seem to be as effective as it should be. However, as your last blow strikes, you do notice the creature becoming considerably weaker. It drops to one knee for just a second, and entire chunks of its armor begin to slough off. Its studded leather begins to rapidly rot away and expose weaknesses within it, and it doesn't look as healthy as it did at the beginning of this particular fight. So, let us continue with this combat against this creature, which I have not yet named, as nobody can figure out exactly what this thing is. However, as we left us last hour, the gorgon creature is beginning to pound at the ground and is preparing to charge. It hasn't charged yet, but it's definitely charging up, as it were. What are you all going to do?
Okay,
Well,
so are we at the top of the battle order again?
Yeah,
Yes.
because there's still an initiative, so...
So then, Skyblaze, you're up.
Yep.
I'm going to try and finish this undead creature off if I can, so I'm just going to attack it with my holy sword.
Okay. Roll it.
18.
That is a hit.
Good. Dice on. That's not as good dice, but I'll take it. That would be 7.
Is this considered radiant damage? or just normal damage?
Well,
it's a holy weapon, isn't it?
it's a holy weapon.
So that's the full effect.
The weapon is considered magical.
Okay. So you hit this thing. It is staggered. It's on the ropes. It's pretty beat up.
Okay.
I'm going to yell to Marcus and Lenore, I'll handle this thing. You do something about that gorgon.
Okay. All right. So then, all right, it's my turn on the pecking order. I'm gonna steal a quick glance at the gorgon and see if I can't see if its senses are impaired in some way. Maybe it's got poor eyesight. Maybe it's trying to track us just by sound.
As far as you can tell, it's probably tracking towards the clanging of the metal and just the general din of the combat happening. The rain is still pretty heavy, but you could still see it, so presumably it can see you.
Okay. But I have nothing that I could maybe use to... I don't have anything that I could really use to distract it without attacking it directly, and that would just piss it off. Okay. Is there any cover that I can hide behind?
There are several stone pillars still in the area. So, yes, you could hide behind something.
Okay. All right. Okay, I am going to try something. I'm going to... How far am I away from the nearest piece of cover?
About 20 feet. It's pretty easy. You could reach it in a round.
Okay. I'm going to move to that piece of cover, and then using Lenore's mace, which I'm still holding, I'm going to pound a couple times on the stone, see it, and basically yell and holler and make some noise, see if I can't get the gorgon's attention.
Okay. So you start smacking the thing off of the stone. You start going, "Hey, hey!" The gorgon looks at you. It locks its eyes with you and begins to charge.
Okay. Can I make a dodge roll to get out of the way?
You absolutely can.
Alrighty. What's that rolling against?
That'll be a dexterity roll.
Oh, good. And I have a +3 modifier. Okay. All right. Okay. Now my dex. What is this green plus mark? Situational bonus. Will that work in my favor?
What does it say?
It just on the... Okay, let's see. Dexterity saving, so +3, +2 when not incapacitated. You add your shield's AC bonus to dexterity saving throws against a spell or other harmful effect that targeted against you. Okay, so no, that wouldn't help me here. Okay, so I just get my basic +3. Okay. Damn.
This creature is trying to gore you, so it's going to get its full attack, but you can dodge it.
Well, I'm going to dodge.
Okay.
All right.
But it gets to hit first, so... Don't worry, it misses. I rolled a 4, and that's with a significant modifier.
All right, so is that... So what happens to it? Does it just go right past me then?
It goes right past you. It skids out because it rolled so badly, and it kind of... It's off balance.
Okay, then in that case, hang the dodge roll. I'm going to go and move to another piece of cover while its back is still turned to me and hide behind that. And this time I'm going to keep quiet.
Okay.
Okay. Do I need to roll for that, or does that just happen?
Nope, that just happened. So moving on to the next person. That would be...
Bollocks. Sorry.
It's Creed. Oh, yep.
Sorry, if you heard that, that was my my flat buzzer. Bear with me.
Okay, so the creature's gonna... The creature is attacking you, Alisaria. I'm gonna re-roll because Amazon gave you a mercy. So...
The Amazon mercy.
The creature totally whiffs this time, as opposed to last time it would have hit you. But that's only the first roll. The second roll, does a 16 hit you?
Let me look. I suspect it probably does.
Actually, it's a 20, sorry, because it has a +4 to hit.
Oh, yeah, it does then.
Okay, so one.
A 16 would have equaled my armor class.
Okay, so you take 7 necrotic damage.
Oof.
And then roll me a DC 13 Constitution saving throw. You succeed. So you just feel this incredible wave of just sickness wash over you as if you were touched by evil. And you got a feeling you got it at a dodge lucky this time. Like as if your divinity protected you.
I will do some more extra prayers later.
All right. So, Lenore, it is your go.
Yay!
The creature's back is to you because it was attacking Alisaria.
That's nice. Somebody stole my melee weapon, so
You could kick it in the ass.
I could kick it in the ass. But instead, what I am going to do is I am going to drop my concentration on my handy dandy protection from evil and good and bless everybody. Assuming, can I get within 30 feet of everyone?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. If I have to move for it, great, I'll do that. And if that puts me out in the open, fine. But I'm going to cast Bless at first level.
Okay.
So what that does is whenever you make an attack roll or saving throw, you get to add a d4.
Oh, cool.
So
All
this
right.
will be useful because if we're going to make like saving throws to protect ourselves from, say, getting petrified, we roll a d4 for basically all attacks and saving throws and add that to it. Yay!
Minor
Yay.
buff, but hey, you can't ignore just how useful it could potentially be.
Bless is like, it is actually a blessing if you're in a situation with a lot of saving to do.
Alrighty.
And then
All right.
if I get behind any kind of cover, that would be swell.
If you come towards me, I'll give you back your mace. I think I've got an idea of how this gorgon is tracking us.
Do I have enough movement to get behind a pillar or a wall?
Yes.
Or... Okay, cool. I want to get some cover then.
Okay, you duck behind a cover, and you are safely behind it. So back in the combat order, going to Alisaria, the creature does look very damaged, very much on the ropes, and it is your go.
Whose go?
Your go.
Yours.
I go. Okay. Sorry, you broke up, so I didn't hear you say my name.
Oh, it's okay. All right, so the creature
Hi.
is facing you, and it is your go.
Okay. I'm going to take another swing at it.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, not on that. I rolled a 2 on the dice.
You miss. Your attack goes harmlessly past it as the creature preternaturally predicts your movement, and your attack misses.
Okay.
Moving on to the next one. Marcus, it is your go.
What's the gorgon doing?
The gorgon is starting to sniff around, and it's kind of, you can see its ears like kind of moving around, so it's listening for you. It can hear the sound of the combat, so it is turning around.
Sniffing around. I think this thing actually is blind.
Can you
Okay.
tell us what the Gorgon looks like? Because I don't think we got a description of.
Okay, so the gorgon up close, you look at it, and it looks like a bull made out of iron. But now that you're up close to it, it's got segmented steel plates across its body. But not every plate looks like it's smooth and polished, which most gorgons look like. It looks like it's rusted, corroded. It looks mangy, except if mange was made out of rust. It's also got the smell of heavy oxidization to it as well. Like if you've ever been towards any significant amount of steel that's starting to rust in your life, that's what it smells like.
I live in the Steel City, and like most of my family worked in the steelworks. Yes,
Okay.
I have.
All right, so the thing is sniffing around. I seriously think this thing is blind. So I'm going to reach into my pack and I'm going to pull out a torch, and I'm not going to light it, but I'm going to try and throw it in a direction past the gorgon where it'll get its attention and go investigating that way. So do I need to roll anything for that?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to try and throw it throw it past the gorgon in a direction that'll lead it away from the combat. But still hopefully landing close enough that it'll actually hear it over the rain and the din. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. And then after that, I'm just going to hunker down in my corner and be quiet as a church mouse.
All right, I'm going to give it a perception check to see if it's indeed this stupid, or a wisdom check to see if it's this dumb. It rolled a natural 1, so
Yes.
you pull the scene from Jurassic Park. Stick, stupid! And you literally pull a Dennis Nedry, and it follows the stick.
Well, actually, since Dennis Nedry died, I think a more accurate would be for me to say I pulled an Alan Grant, who threw the flare and actually managed to distract the T-Rex before Malcolm was a dumbass.
There you go. So you have successfully pulled this off. The gorgon is chasing after the stick.
Well, actually, Jurassic Park.
I just got Kreishin. Anyway.
Oh, you want to talk about what goes on in the books? All right, let's get started. No.
Oh, good God.
It's just 100%
I thought this was my
more
the sort of
chaos
wheelhouse of that sort of bullshit. Right, I am opening the cider.
All right,
Drink.
so that's my action.
All right, so it's go. It is going to try and attack Alisaria again. Its one attack with its long sword misses. It seems angry and tries to use its other attack. You just feel this wave of sickness wash over you. And it doesn't matter because it doesn't hit anyway. So, Lenore.
Oh, yes. Okay. Let's see. What am I going to do? Let's see. I keep thinking if there's better ways to distract the gorgon.
Well, I've got plenty of torches, so...
Yeah, I have other things too, but I was trying to think of something that I don't really have it. Wait. Let's see. I will go ahead and... Shit. I will,
Well...
I will toll the dead the thing that is still fighting us. I will cast Toll the Dead and see if it hits. Oh god, another really bad. Oh no, I don't have to roll for Toll the Dead. Please, for the creature that is still attacking us, make a Wisdom 12 saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, I thought I had to roll that one.
Fuck me, natural 1.
Nice. Okay. Does that mean it takes more damage? I don't know how that
I'll
works.
just say, it failed spectacularly, so you
Okay.
tell me what happens.
Well, because I don't know if it has any resistance with Toll the Dead it is necrotic damage. But I'm just
does have resistance to necrotic.
yeah. It's my only damaging. So 2.
You tickled it.
I tickled. Hey, every little bit helps.
So you've definitely distracted. I'll say that's what happens. Your spell doesn't do any damage because it does have a resistance to. Actually, no. You do 1 point of damage.
I do 1 point of damage. I nick its ears. Actually, what Toll the Dead is, it hears the sound of a bell.
Okay, so here's what happens in this situation. So as it hears the sound of the bell, the creature drops its sword, pauses for a second, and it drops to one knee.
Ooh.
It's not dead, but if you wanted to coup de grace this thing,
Oh, yeah.
now is the fucking time.
Yeah. I said, it's someone else's turn. Somebody who has a weapon in their hand could coup de grace.
Al, sorry, I think that's your cue.
Yeah, it's a shame that we'd get dinged for the copyright, because Metallica's For Whom the Bell Tolls would be really appropriate right now.
That'd be good.
Ask not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee.
I'm actually going to say that as I swing my sword to cut his fucking head off.
Well, then go ahead and say it so it's actually in the recording instead of just me doing it.
Ask not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee.
Bitch.
And that's a 19 on the dice.
That's a hit.
Awesome. Good dice. You praise your dice when they do well.
I would not know.
All right. So then, is it dead?
Right.
All right, so you hit this thing pretty much no matter what you do.
It's 10 points of damage.
You hit this thing, your weapon cleaves straight through it, pretty much cutting it cleanly in half.
That's hot.
And all life or whatever animating force that was doing so leaves its form. It slides to the ground in a very messy and disgusting heap. The Gorgon is still chasing the stick.
Okay, I think that's our cue to scoot. Can we make it to the door from here?
Absolutely, just full out run.
Yeah. How
Let's
far
do
away
that.
are we from the door?
Moving.
About 360 feet.
Yep.
I'm gonna take the Gorgon chasing the stick and very quickly throw a prayer of thanksgiving to my god and run to the door.
Yeah, I'm
right.
gonna. Who are my gods again? Which one? I've got Selune, Sune, and Timor. Which one is the god of gambling?
The one that just lets you live. Run!
Yep, we run. I'm praying to Paylor.
I'm praying to. I think it's Timora.
You're praying to all of them. You're like, please, whichever one is gonna let me live. Let me live.
Yeah, Timora, goddess of good fortune. I say a prayer to. I utter a silent prayer to Timora for letting my gamble work, because holy shit, that was going all in if ever there was.
All right, so you run up to these big, heavy iron doors. As you approach them, they are just ever so slightly open. You open the door, and you enter inside.
Did the Gorgon follow us at all?
Oh, no, it's still stupid.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So, as you get inside...
It had a major attack of the stupids.
You found the only derpy one in the entirety of Faerun. So...
No, because...
Derpy the Gorgon. It has a name now.
All right. Can we shut the door behind us?
Yes.
Okay, let's do so.
Assuming we survive this, we're going to go to a bar and we're going to be telling people all our adventures and be like, oh, in the Gorgon, we defeated it with a stick.
No, excuse me. I defeated it with a stick. That was my play. That was my play of the game.
Collectively, we as a team...
I want fan art of Derpy.
Yes.
I want fan art of Marcus just hucking this stick and having the Gorgon chasing after it.
Yeet!
All right,
if this was a game, like a video game, after doing that, you'd get like a mini pet of the tiny mini version of the Gorgon, which would follow you around.
Oh yeah.
Achievement unlocked. Fetch. All right. But putting the train back on the tracks.
So, as you enter the big stone structure, you come into a large, I guess what would be considered a foyer. You see what looks to be a fountain that's been long dried up. It's got like calcium deposits everywhere. You see moss hanging from the ceiling. You see there are tons of lit torches everywhere. The rooms are relatively well lit. It does lead further down a fairly long hallway. And you can't see too far down the hallway, but it does lead down. You can tell that just from the angle of ascent. It's a smooth surface. It's not stairs. And I presume you all are going to head deeper down.
Well, let's... is that the only way down?
Yes.
Okay.
Before we do that, I'm going to ask Lenore if she can, if she's got any spare healing available.
Oh yeah, and I'm also going to give her back her mace.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, let me get you a... slots. see.
I've got a couple of healing potions if you don't want to waste a spell.
We'll save them. I can do a level 1 cure wounds.
That'll do for now.
Alright, it is 1d8 plus 2. Do I roll that or do you roll that?
You guys roll it.
Alright.
I mean, which one of us? Me or Cat?
You would, since you're taking it.
Okay.
Okay. So what was it? 1d8?
1d8 plus 2.
Okay. That's 6.
Nice.
I'll take. Oh yeah. It's quite nice.
My home game has a rule that when you're rolling like a healing of any kind, if you roll a natural 1, just re-roll it because that's bullshit.
Okay, I want to take a moment to examine the door and see how sturdy it is because I don't want to risk the gorgon charging in after us through the door. So, is there a way to latch it or lock it? And how sturdy is it?
You bolt the door shut with those huge wooden things, but the door is made out of solid iron as well. It's pretty sturdy. It would take the gorgon significant effort and time.
Okay, all right. So then in character, I'm going to say, well, it's a good thing that they basically had Fluffy guarding the door.
Are there any statues on the inside?
Yes. As you look around, you do see a couple what you would assume to be former victims of the gorgon. Like you see what was probably a couple of halflings and probably a human adventurer, but you also see statues that look like traditional kind of gargoyles, that sort of thing, basically ornate, decorative statues. You do see, as you look towards the ceiling of the room, there is a more ornate statue that resembles what you saw in Cambridge when the creature came out of Lord Kilsh's son, whose name I don't remember at this current time. I'm sorry, it's been a significant amount of time since we recorded that episode, but regardless, that is what you see.
All right. I don't suppose there's any cover around where we might be able to stop and take just a short rest to kind of recover our breath and spell slots.
Well, you are inside, but you also don't know what's in here. So how long is considered a long rest? Like 4 hours?
I was saying short rest.
It's
Short rest?
A
Yeah.
long rest is 8 hours. A short rest is going to be like an hour.
All right, probably a good idea to then not to do it here, but if we find a place that's sort of out of the way where we might be, where there's not a whole lot of foot traffic, maybe we should just stop and just take a short rest because I also used up my action surge, and I have a feeling we're going to need it.
I will get nothing back with a short rest. So.
Well, you can explore if you want to go down that hallway and see what leads you down.
Well, it looks like there's nothing for it, but to do that.
All right, so you start walking down, and you only walk down maybe 5 minutes or so, but you can tell you are descending deeper underground. You eventually come to a wider area that opens up into a significantly more assortment of rooms and other areas. The area does seem rather upkept, all things considered. Like, it's not very dirty, it's not very dusty. You don't hear anything down here, though. It's literally quiet as the dead. Looking around, if you want to each of you roll a perception check, you can take a quick look around.
All right. That's a 15.
Okay.
14.
A 3.
It's a room.
Yes.
So as you look around, you discover rooms that would probably be dormitories or some kind of bedding. What might be a higher class officers' quarters, perhaps a barracks area. All the beds look like they haven't been slept in some time. There's what would probably be a alchemist laboratory. There is still some liquid in some of the bottles, but it doesn't look like it's been disturbed in quite some time. There is an armory.
Armory.
Down here. Yes.
I want to examine the armory.
All right, so you go into the armory, you brush past a fairly moldy cloth as you enter the armory. You see pretty standard stuff like short swords, long swords, a few spears. Nothing you wouldn't find in your average like kind of peasant store. Like all the good stuff has likely been taken or been used.
So there's nothing silver here?
You don't see anything silver, but if you want to take a deeper look, you do see several chests along the back wall.
Okay, well, having played Dark Souls, I'm first going to take my sword and give each of the chests a good firm poking. To check for mimics.
All right. So you give each of the chests a good firm poking.
You're gonna get a weird look from me. He's like, "What are you doing?"
And I'm going to look back and say, remember Rule 35? Always check for mimics.
Right.
Okay, so does anything happen?
No, nothing.
Okay, so I'm going to... Can I open the chests?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to open them.
All right, you open the chest. You find 50 gold in each. Flasks of some liquid. This is kind of a clear blue liquid. You don't know what it is.
All right, so how many chests are there?
3.
3. Okay, so everybody add 50 gold to your tally because we're going to split that evenly.
How do you intend to carry it?
In my wallet with the rest of my gold.
You know how big 50 coins is, right?
Are you actually using encumbrance as a
Not encumbrance, I'm just saying think
Uh,
about how big it is. If you have a backpack or something, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, I've got a backpack.
yeah,
Okay.
I do too.
Or sacks. That's all I'm saying. Just if I said there's 3,000, how would you carry it?
Well, you didn't. You said
Okay,
50. So.
with this gold, we are going to purchase a
Well, hang on. There's still more stuff in here.
bag of holding.
Well, if we have enough in our, to pool for it. What else is in the chest? You said some flasks with some liquid.
Yep, you see each of the chests has a flask in it that has a thing that looks like kind of like blue Kool-Aid.
All right, Lenore, does this look like something useful to you?
let me see. Can I roll a some sort of check, like a medicine check or something, to know if it's potion
Yep.
or something? Cool. I'll make a medicine check. 22.
All right, so you open the stopper. You take a smell. You smell very floral things. You can smell some other stuff in there, like besides flowers. You do smell garlic. You smell something else. You're not quite sure what it is. If you had to venture a guess, a fairly educated one, you might say this is cure poison.
Okay, so everybody take one of those.
Yep.
And other than that, at the bottom of one of the chests, there does seem to be something else.
Okay.
It's almost like a latch. Like there's something underneath almost like somebody's holding the chest to the floor.
All right, hang on a second here. I'm trying to add the poison, cure poison to my
That's a good idea.
inventory. Potion, filter, poison. Potion of poison or potion of poison?
Cure poison.
Well, well, I don't see a cure poison. I see. I'm coming up with potion of poison resistance.
Resistance. Whatever. I just made it up.
All right, so we'll add one of those. Okay. All right, can I undo the latch?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand well back.
Well, hold up. Hang on. Can I roll a perception check to see if there are any if this thing might be rigged?
You can try.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a
You're not a rogue, mate.
Well, just me being cautious. So I'm gonna roll.
Okay.
19.
You do see it is attached to something under the floor.
Attached to something under the floor. Okay. All right. So then I'm not going to mess with it by hand. But is there a way that I might be able to take, say, one of the spears, pry it open from a distance with it?
Probably.
Okay. So then, what do you girls think? Should I do you want to see what this might be? Actually, hold up. What am I thinking? I have rope. Can I tie a rope to the latch?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to tie one end of my rope to the latch, and then me and the girls are going to We're going to get on the other end of the rope, hopefully outside of the door. And then from the other side of the door, I'm just going to give the rope a good hard yank.
Okay. So you do that. You yank it as hard as you can. You hear a loud click from somewhere. And then a boom! You're not quite sure where it came from, though. It definitely came from outside the room. Fairly close, though.
Okay, well... Alright, so then I'm going to go back in and examine what was underneath that ladder.
A set of mechanical gears that led to something under the floor. Some kind of internal mechanism.
But no additional treasure?
No.
Okay. Can I roll a perception check to see if there might be any other useful weapons or tools in this room that we might be able to use? With an emphasis on searching for silvered weapons, because as we've established, this thing is... If we run another Captain Howdy, we're just boned.
So as you look around the room, despite your best efforts, you don't find anything additional. You find maybe a few more gold pieces, but they are pretty tarnished. So yeah, if you want to add 5 additional gold each a piece, you could, but you don't find anything else of use.
All right. Okay. So that's all the goods that are in here. That satisfies my investigation. Do we want to check out the alchemy lab?
Yes.
All right. So as you go back outside into the main hall area, as it were, you notice the passageway in which you came in has now been sealed.
Ah.
Well,
That happened.
Anti-theft device.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't you put an anti-theft device on the inside without leaving yourself a way out, so I'm confident that there is an exit in here somewhere, but that means we'll have to go deeper to find it, probably. I doubt Clovis would be so foolish as to lock himself in.
Well, his out might be something supernatural.
Well,
In any case, alchemy lab?
Yep. So you enter the alchemy lab. You start looking around. You see tons of old books that have evidently been there so long that the ink on the pages has faded into... It's nothing legible anymore. The pages are so moldy, it virtually crumble to dust as you touch them anyhow. Looking around, like I said, you do find some liquid in some of the bottles. You can, from what you can smell, they were likely used to brew those cure poison wounds, or those cure poison potions that you have. You do find ingredients that would be useful in creating other potions. However, you don't know what the expiration date is on them, how long they've been around. It doesn't look like anybody's used this lab in quite some time. Everybody roll me a perception check, though.
Yeah.
17. Damn, this dice is hot today.
mine bloody isn't. It rolled a 5.
13.
Okay, Marcus. So as you're rolling, or as you stop and listen, you kind of go shh, 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 shh. And you hear something kind of skittering around, like above you. Not like, so you look up and you see something, but you hear something tapping.
It's a fucking
It's
spider. All right. Readying my sword, I'm going to look up at the ceiling and see if I can't find the source of the skittering.
You look up and you see a grate, a wooden grate, and you can hear something. You also smell something gross.
How much you want to bet that's not the toilet?
And the more you listen, you hear more of them. You definitely hear 2, and they sound heavy.
But hear 2 what? 2 creatures or 2 sets of 2 feet? What?
You hear 2 distinct sets of movement. You don't know what they are, but you definitely know there's at least 2 of them.
Okay, if I can hear them, they can probably hear us. So, how sturdy does that grate look?
One good yank could probably do it.
And I probably don't want to do that. Okay, so very silently, I direct Alisari and Lenore to look up at the grate and kind of whisper, "What do you suppose that is?"
I assume we don't see anything better because that is
I don't know, but I'm guessing it's bad news.
There hasn't been any good news so far.
You are not wrong.
Okay. Is there anything that we can take in here and leave without making any more noise?
Not really.
I was gonna take whatever ingredients I could find, if they were like herbs or anything like that.
You do find some miscellaneous herbs, but you don't know, like, once again, if they have turned past the point of usability.
I think
So
I would
suggest
know,
just.
but that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because
you
she
would know.
is a
Just
plague
because-
doctor.
Yeah, my whole
They
thing
wouldn't
is
be of-
centered.
They wouldn't be of any real use to you.
Okay, then fuck it, I'll leave them.
Okay, so then...
Wiley, you need to go, puppy. Sorry. Wiley's being a cat. Go see Mummy.
Okay. All right, let's head back out to the main hall.
Yeah.
So it's just the alchemy lab, the armory, and then you said the barracks?
Yes.
Okay,
As
and
we
then...
leave, can we roll perception to see if anything sounds like it's following us?
Yes. Okay, everybody roll perception again.
Ugh,
16?
Same roll.
So,
13.
as you enter out into the main hall area, you
I got a 16 on that.
both of you stop and listen. You could hear things moving around, heavy things. And you hear some coming from below you, because you look around, you see another one of those wooden grates. Except this one is partially shattered.
Oh dear.
How large is the hole that has been shattered?
Probably about 1.5 meters across.
Oof.
So something big could fit through it. A person could, for sure.
Okay.
The other things, the more you listen, the more you hear these things. You can now hear 4 distinct bits of movement.
I think that's our cue to Scarper.
With leaving.
All right, so as you continue to look around, you do find an additional staircase that, as you continue to go down, there are still significant amounts of torches, but they do start to get spaced farther and farther apart. And the rock work goes from being immaculately done to being a little less so the further you go down.
Okay, I'm going to pause at one of the torches and pull one of my torches out of my pack and light it against one of the lit torches.
Okay, you do that, and you start to see the cave walls kind of light up, and you see the ceilings here seem just utterly huge, considering how far you're likely down. You can see stalactites and everything else. You can hear water dripping from the ceiling. As you do that, can you... something's about to happen to you, so just give me a sec as you look up. Something lands by your foot, heavy. And this creature that looks like a stalactite slams into the rock beside you.
Okay, do I need to make a dodge roll, or do I just...
No, it slammed into the floor, but everybody else, roll dexterity with advantage.
That's nice. Is this a saving throw?
Yes.
Sweet, I have no bonuses. 16.
15 from me.
Okay.
Cat?
I said 16, sorry.
Okay, so more of these creatures come slamming out of the ceiling, and they're just raining down on you like a hail of spikes. So
Yeah.
I suggest
Run.
running.
With
Okay.
running.
Yeah.
So you start
We're just going to
bolting.
Benny Hill it out of there.
So you start running down these stairs. You just hear whack, 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 as you hear probably about 30 of these things just hit the floor behind you,
Are they chasing after us, or are they just embedding themselves in the floor?
embedding themselves in the floor.
Ouch.
Okay.
So, as you continue farther down, you come into yet another area. This one seems a little bit more ornate. This one seems like, much like the architecture above, but almost like it was separated from the other part that you were from before. Here, you do find 3 rooms. You find yet another stone fountain, but there's like an ugly looking statue of Pazuzu on top of this one, and there's something flowing out of the mouth into the fountain below.
Ugh.
Ooh, can we identify what color that might?
It's
I'm gonna hold my torch up to it just to get a look at it.
It's an ugly red liquid. You can't tell anything more than that, but each of you has smelled blood before.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. What about the other rooms?
The other rooms, you look around and find what looks to be some kind of a burial area where they would prepare bodies for some kind of a ritual, or maybe some kind of a ritualistic room.
Embalming room. Yeah.
An embalming room. And the other room seems to be lined with sarcophagi.
I'm not touching those.
God.
Okay. And I'm guessing there's a passage that leads deeper down.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know about you, but those sarcophagi look like bad news, so I'm not going anywhere fucking near them.
So as you begin making your way down, you start hearing something. This time the sound is unmistakable. And you start hearing and start seeing things dart in and out of shadows.
Mm-hmm.
You see these, the best way to describe them is they look like large bugs with these large antennae, and they're just darting back and forth.
Nope. These things have to die.
I'm gonna very carefully so as not to startle her into goring. I'm gonna put a calming hand on Alisaria's shoulder and just go steady.
You remember the last incident with bugs, right?
I do, yes. I also remember they weren't fond of the light. So if you have a torch or a radiant light, that they should keep away from us.
I'm gonna flick on my radiant mace.
You flick on your radiant mace, Lenore, and you see 4 reddish creatures with these rather large tails and antennae. They look at you, their eyes narrow, and they start sprinting right towards you.
Oh no!
I'm gonna glare at Marcus.
Or maybe they'll try and eat us.
What's going to happen next? Find out next hour. Right here on Fools Who Ride, as they have come face to face with something most adventurers dread and will stop in their tracks or run fearing, screaming into the night. What happens next? I'm excited. Aren't you excited? No. Anyway, so for this adventure of Fools Who Ride, we have been
Dr. Gonzo,
The cat.
And Skyblaze.
I've been your Game Master Storyteller, Mike the Birdman Dodd, and as always, let's hope you can survive this next encounter.